We are here to celebrate and commemorate the upcoming birthday of Dorie Miller. Not too long ago, the county board made created a Dorie Miller Day. And with that coming up just a few days from now, I thought it was a fabulous opportunity to hear from the American Legion Post194, that is named for Dorie Miller. And if I'm not mistaken, you formed it in 1946. And that was even before the US military desegregated. So we really want to hear how you overcame some challenges, and perhaps they're still going on. But anyway, I want to welcome Kenneth Powell, who is the post chaplain, and he's been a member since, for decades, he says. And then we'll hear from Marjorie Strother, who is the auxiliary secretary, and she has been in that position for also about 20 years. So please help me welcome these American Legion members. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to say I served 22 years of the United States Army. My daughters, I have one in the Air Force and one in the Army. And the one in the Army is like I want to say, excuse me, a Hellcat. She drill sergeant. She served with the 82nd Airborne. Now she got this wild idea to become a Army Ranger. And I told her, slow your roll, slow your roll. But if that's what you want to do, I'm there to support her. So I've been with Dorie Miller Post 194 for about 20 plus years. I served as the commander several years. I served as the service officer for several years. And I served as the chaplain for several years. We're a small post, very small post. So I'm here to give you a little history about our post, how it got started, and also give you a little history, a brief history of Dorie Miller. You say Doris. Yeah, he was named Doris at birth, and we'll get into that. Okay. During the final days of World War II, a group of concerned citizens, male and females, met in the old Carver Center here in Arlington. Well, the old Carver Rec Center, that's off Queen Street. And as a matter of fact, it's 13th at South Queen, to form an American Legion post in South Arlington. Male attended in the main meeting room, while the females would be in another room within the Carver Center. And there was a pastor, well, Reverend Burnett Brooks was elected as the post commander during that time. And his wife, Ms. Rosalind S. Brooks, was the president of the auxiliary. So we had the American Legion side, and then we had the auxiliary side. And a final decision was made for naming the post in honor of World War II African American hero, this hero being Dorie Miller. But at the time, it was Doris Miller. And the commander, if I'm not mistaken, his commander saying Doris was a female name. So they gave him the name of Dorie. So that's how you get the Doris and the Dorie. So we were named after Dorie. Okay. And that's when in February of 1946, is when we was chartered. We received our charter to become a post. So that's how we got started here. All right, now I have also I want to talk about the brief history of Dorie Miller. Dorie Miller was born October 12th, 1919, on a small farm in Waco, Texas. He joined the United States Navy in 1939. At that time, the only thing that soldiers and sailors during that era, you either be a cook or you wash laundry.
Black soldiers.
Black soldiers, I'm sorry, black soldiers, either cook, you do laundry, or you mop the floors. So at that time, he was a mess man. That's what they call him, the mess man branch, which basically cooks. The only branch officially open to black enlisted as a mess man. Dorie Miller has never been instructed to fire weapons, guns, or anything like that, because they were not trained to do that. Cooks, laundry, mop floors. That was it. So on the battleship of the USS Arizona at that time, that's when the US came under attack, and he came to the aid of his mortally wounded captain. He went in, got the captain, but he was in the, I want to say, the bottom of the ship, or maybe a couple floor, levels down, but he came up to the top. And after he moved the captain to cover or to shelter on the deck, he manned a 50 cal machine gun, and he shot down 5 Japanese planes. Miller was later assigned to the carrier Lipscomb Bay, which was struck by a Japanese sub in 1943, and Dorie Miller was on board when that happened. He subsequently, he was awarded the Navy Cross and promoted to cook 3rd class. And at a later date, an escort ship bearing his name was launched. And if I'm not mistaken, they have started to build this ship, or I think next year or the year, a couple of years, that ship will be built and they're gonna launch it. But you know, for me to think how the soldiers was treated back then, it was really sad. And I think about it, and believe it or not, there's a lot of grown folk and young folk don't even know anything about Dorie Miller. And it's I think it's sad. And the more I do my homework and research, I'm always finding something outstanding that he did. And they finally gave him his due. After all these years, they finally gave him his due. And I'm proud to be a member of Dorie Miller Post194. And it's not that many. And we're a small post. And you have one in New Jersey, Orlando, Florida, and Texas, and a few other parts of the states. But I challenge each and every one of you to do a Google search. You'll be amazed of the things you'll find out about this guy. And one other thing I forgot to mention, and his parents, they were sharecroppers. And I thought about sharecroppers. My wife's grandparents were sharecroppers in a little small town about 2.5 hours from here, Dinwiddie, Virginia. Yeah, a little small town. But anyway, that's all I have. Are there any questions?
So did you mean to say that there's 4 or 5 Dorie Miller posts around the country?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Yes. Quite a few. And I think we met some of the
The one came down from New York.
right, came down from New York City to be a part of the celebration we had, what, last year? I think it was last, year before last. Yes, sir.
He was awarded the Medal of Honor, wasn't
Yes, sir. But it took a while. It took a while. Right. It took a while. Yes, sir.
Quick thing. Well, you can forget my question. We'll come right back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Come back to me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my mother called. I got distracted.
Don't worry about it. But we, as opposed, we don't have a post home, but we meet at the Carver Center every first Wednesday of the month. So if you're out and about, we wanna come in and sit down and chat with some of the members, and our oldest member is not, what, 90?
He's older than 96 because Naomi is 96.
Well, he's about 90, I won't say 98. But I go see him every other day. We take him a sweet potato. My wife is cooking the sweet potato, we'll take it over there. Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna follow up. Did he serve in World War II, the 90-year-old?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And my question is, you said you were founded in 46. Were you an all-black chapter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the American Legion was segregated, or that's just how the kids fell?
I did just how I felt. And we try to encourage people, soldiers from Fort Myer, and around to join when we have gatherings like we having the Dorie Miller Day is coming up, and we try to encourage young people, young soldiers, hey, become a part of this history. But I don't stop. I keep beating the drum. Yes, sir.
When I was growing up in the 1950s, in my town anyway, every Memorial Day, they had a big parade, and all the American Legion, VFW posts from World War I and World War II always marched in parades.
Yeah.
If you know, did Arlington have parades, and did your post of the American Legion march in such a parade?
Oh, yes, we marched in the one
George Washington Parade.
George Washington Parade.
Oh, and
Right. And we have a lot of older members, but we encourage all the members to come out. And if they can't walk, we have transportation for them so they can, wave and see the people. Well, I'll turn it over to Marge, the auxiliary number.
Good afternoon, and we're honored to be a part of the program, and we're just delighted for those of you who thought enough of the County Society to come and learn more about us. As Kenneth was saying, the auxiliary got its charter the same year, the post. There cannot be an auxiliary unless there's an existing post. So the husband or wife team, because the husband was the commander and the wife was the auxiliary president, that's what got it started. And as was back then, the men meet in front and the ladies still meet in the back of the center. Some things don't change. But I would like to share our charter members of the auxiliary. Mrs. Rawson Brooks, as was stated earlier, Ella Ford, Margaret Minor, Cora Fleet, Bessie Holmes, Ariana Jones, Esther Cooper, Ethel Johnson, Ruth Green, Helen Goldman, and Pearl Parks. And of the ladies that are listed, I maybe know 3 of them. Because I grew up in Arlington. I attended the segregated school that was down the street from the center. The center is now relocated. It was a structure standing on its own and now is attached to the school. So my family history is there. In the past years, the Post and Auxiliary sponsored baseball games and drill teams. Presently, we continue to send boys and girls to Boys State, to Boys State and Girls State. We also sponsor youth for oratorical and essay competitions. And what we do is we contact the schools in Arlington County. You have to be a senior. And we have a point of contact And our first vice president, she normally reaches out to see if the counselor or someone can recommend a senior to participate in the Girls State program. And we have learned that once they attend that, and it's a week long, that they maintain their relationship through the years. And we're glad to hear that. We always have them give us a report afterwards to tell us what they learned, if they want to get into politics or if they are doing community service. In addition to supporting our veterans and their families, we partner with local schools, community churches, community residents, and charitable organizations providing acts of kindness such as donating coats, school supplies, gift cards to a family to help them with Thanksgiving or Christmas. And August 2022 was the first year that we set up a booth in the Arlington County Fair. And the purpose of that was and still is to let Arlington residents know that we exist. And yes, we did participate in the Alexandria George Washington Parade. We have not participated in any parades in Arlington. We're letting people know that even though it is a segregated post, we're open. It's the community was segregated at the time when it was formed, and that's why the members are. But we interact with many different posts. In fact, the gentleman here from Post194, we interacted a lot with one of their female members whose name passed. When we do activities for VA Hospital in DC, we come together. And there are meetings and positions and conferences and stuff. We all come together and we build a bond. When we have installation programs every June, our president will either go to another post or either one of those members will come and hold our installation, be a participant of our installation. We enjoy what we do. Our current officers, we get installed the first Wednesday every year. And we're better than your recycle bin because once you get a position, they don't let you out. Our current officers will be Ardella Lockett, she's the president. Betty Hardiman is the first vice president. Yours truly is the secretary. Sharon Smith is the treasurer. Gladys Fleet is our assistant treasurer. Naomi Smith, who is our oldest member, she's 96 years old. She's the chaplain. Tabitha Davis Rama is the historian. She's the youngest member. We're trying to get young, meaning like over 50. We're trying to get our young people involved so the chapter won't fade away. And that's hard, as in if you do any type of volunteer, I don't care if it's church, if it's school, whatever, PTA, whatever, you don't have enough volunteers. And as we're aging and the body doesn't do what we want it to do, we're trying to gravitate and get more young people aboard. And then also Miss Purdy Green, she's our sergeant of arms. So we had monthly meetings. We tried to keep communication going via email. Our biggest fundraiser, people like to come out and socialize, is we have 2 dances a year. One coming up October the 24th, and we use Post 176 in Springfield because we don't have our own post. And then we usually have one in the spring also for a fundraiser. With that money, we're able to help the veterans with the various projects. You may see, I look forward to this. We have Veterans Day Poppy Drive. And we use the anchor at the Giant on South Glebe Road. And though we don't get the amount of donations that we used to get, what I enjoy is when people stop and share with us what Flounders Field mean to them, or what their parents did, or their uncles, or whomever is in the family that participated, that served in the military. So that's just as rewarding, not as rewarding, but just as rewarding as getting the money, because the money helps us do things that VA Hospital need assistance with. I know before COVID, there were so many volunteer hours that we did in helping the hospital. And we used to get a report. We would have a volunteer luncheon, and there was a report that said how many man hours we worked that equated to dollars that we saved the federal government. But that has not ramped back up since COVID. But we're out there and we're there to serve whatever capacity that VA call on us to do. there's always some type of service that they need because the coupons, our coupons expire, but the coupons for the military, they can go up to a year before they expire because it's knowledge that they don't get a lot of money. So wherever help can be granted, we do. I'm a member via my husband. He was in the Marines and he's passed now. So that's how I got in. And then I grafted my daughter to come in. And then I grafted my grandchildren, from babies. They can't do anything, but they're on the roll and I pay their dues. So we're just glad to be here. We're glad that you have an interest in us. We're trying to blossom out to the community. If there's something, if you're a part of another organization or something and you want us to be present, we have a website. We're also on Facebook. So reach out to us and you will get a response back. And thank you so much. Questions? Yes.
So can you tell us more about how the post got started in 1946? What made you start?
I don't know the origin of what made us start, other than there were service people in the community and they wanted to do something to help veterans. And that's how it originated. And though it was a small core down through the years, they lingered and lingered and lingered until we came on board. And as they were aging, they grabbed us when we were young, with our families when we were younger, so you had to extend yourself as far as you could. But yeah, that's how we got started. Yes, sir.
I have bought copies from you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And no, it's very interesting. You mentioned we grew up in the same town, and I remember the coffee drive with that American Legion veteran selling coffee. So
Not sell, we ask for donations, we
donation,
can't sell.
add the donation, but it's always nice. I wish that was more of a tradition, but I do remember growing up.
Thank you, we appreciate your assistance. Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, what is the difference between the VFW and the American Legion? Do they do the same thing, sir?
Kenneth?
Yeah, the VFW is,
Let me get the microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, here you go.
yeah, the VFW is veterans of foreign wars. So if I served in, for instance, Berlin, I served in Berlin, so I can become a member of the VFW or vice versa. So that's basically what the VFW, but we all do the same. There's nothing different. No.
This comment says shooting down 5 planes is amazing. Did he learn how to shoot growing up in Texas by any chance?
We do know he had no training.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about him and firearms prior to World War II, but what we do know is he had no training whatsoever with handling ammunition. And as it would be, sometimes when you put in a position, you find out you had skills, hidden skills that you didn't know until it's time to exercise them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There's another question.
Just another question about Dorie Miller. If they named the American Legion post after him in 1946, he must have gotten a certain amount of national recognition by that point. Was he famous during the war, or did it only become later that people heard about him?
It was later, because during those times, they really didn't, give him his props. They was just, he was served.
But the black community in Arlington must have known about him.
Yeah,
The post after him.
Well, I'm quite sure they did, but.
Yeah, but some of them served him.
Right.
You weren't.
I think he was used to recruit. I think I've seen pictures of him in a recruitment poster. And he got, I think so. And
They could have used it
during the
to
war, I
relax and
think he
feel-
got the Navy Cross from Kenneth.
Right, he
Yeah.
did, Admiral Lincoln did get a Navy Cross from him.
So he initially got the Navy Cross, then was upgraded to Medal of Honor.
Right, they had to go through, a whole lot of changes in order for him to get the Navy
Did he
Cross.
die in active duty?
Yes,
Right, he was
got
on the
ship.
ship, right,
He went down with the ship.
The
Right.
guy was on his,
Yeah.
right.
a little later
Torpedo,
after
yeah.
Pearl Harbor. He was on a different
He
ship.
was
that
on
got
his
hit.
own.
Yeah, hit
Yeah,
by the
that's fine.
submarine.
Matt?
Any questions? I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me put in a shameless plug, it was touched on, but this Monday, October the 13th, 2100 Clarendon Boulevard at Arlington County Bosman Building, we're having a Dorie Miller program. We're gonna fill you in on more information and probably show a clip, and we will have a guest speaker. So it's from 1 to 3 this Monday, October the 13th. We would love to see some of the same faces here.
Come out. He's come out.
That's great.
He's.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm always with a rabbit in my hat. On behalf of Dorie Miller Post.
Oh, you have it.
On behalf of Dorie Miller Post 194, Arlington, Virginia, I would like to present the Historical Society at this corn.
Ah,
Yeah, and you can pass it around, cause I want the young man to see the corn as well.
that is lovely. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, if I had more, I would bought one.
Get all of y'all in your feet. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And hold it. There you go. Yeah, yeah, perfect. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
I will. Well, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank
And thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah.
See you on Monday.
Okay.
Room 307.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.